Okay, on to the unfinished symphony. This should be the third page in your packet. So this unfinished symphony is not Schubert's last work. He began writing it in 1822 when he was 25, but he never completed it even though he lived 6 more years. And the reason it was unfinished is not known. The symphony was to be a gift to a musical society which had made Schubert an honorary member. Anselm Hüttenbrenner, a pianist, composer, and conductor, discovered the unfinished work in 1865. He had been a friend and fellow student of Schubert. There is a bit of mystery surrounding this Eighth Symphony. Some historians believe that Schubert actually finished it. One theory is that Hüttenbrenner was in possession of the score of the Eighth Symphony after Schubert's death and lost the third and fourth movements. However, most historians support the theory that Schubert completed only 2 movements and 9 measures of a third movement. It was first performed in Vienna, Austria on December 17, 1865, with Hüttenbrenner conducting. Listen carefully and think about which instruments play the first 8 measures. And then there's the next part where you're supposed to raise your hand and do all this stuff, and obviously you don't have to do that, but it says the strings come in next with fast 16th notes, and then the main melody is heard, played by the oboe and clarinet. Schubert uses these woodwinds to create tone color. That term can be compared to an artist trying to create the feeling of autumn by using the autumn colors gold, red, and brown. And so, anyway, there is timing at the bottom of that page, like many of the other pages that we've done, and I'm going to give you a link to a performance of his Eighth Symphony, and I would like for you to, you're just going to be listening to the first movement of it, so this is part of it that he finished, right, because he made it like a little over halfway through, but if you're interested in hearing the rest of it, I'm sure you can continue on with your listening to that clip. After this, okay, so this is what I'm trying to do. First off, I feel really bad that I'm always like copying and copying papers that, I don't know, you guys are like never getting back or never looking at again. That's not your fault. Like, I'm not saying that's your fault, but I've never run a class where I'm only on YouTube. Usually I'm actually like in front of you myself. So what I think I'm going to do this time is I'm going to give you like the PDF of the review sheet that you would normally fill out. But then, instead of having you write out the answers, I want you to just, on the Google form, I'm just going to go through and like I'll put the questions on there that are on this review, and you can answer them on the Google form. And then that way we're not dealing with any paper. There's nothing that like Mr. Hill has to hand out or stuff like that. I think that's it for today. If you finish early, as always, have something quiet to do. You know at this point to just bring a book to read. Think of something that you can be doing quietly, appropriately online. It is my hope that we are going to do an in-depth study of one of Schubert's famous works, a very dramatic piece that I think you'll find interesting as a deep dive for tomorrow. But anyway, I hope the rest of your Monday is great. We'll see you later.